In this video, I was going to show one of the problems that I ran into while I was trying to shoot another video, which I was going to be shooting a video for troubleshooting an open neutral when I ran into an interesting little issue. Um, so in prepping for this circuit, I went ahead and identified what it was, what circuit it is, what all is on it, and then I decided to pick an outlet that was easy to get to. And I was just going to pull a neutral off to show what would happen. However, when I pulled the neutral off, I wasn't seeing what I was expecting. And what I was expecting to see was an open neutral. And I wasn't. So that tells me I got a ground and neutral somewhere in contact with one another, kind of like a bootleg ground. I'll show you what we got here. I don't know if you can see that, but we've got our neutral disconnected. This is still on. So I'm seeing that. I know this circuit is also on this guy. And then also this one, which this one's also been kind of iffy. I'll get power sometimes, sometimes not. So that's where we're at. One thing I did do also was at the panel. Kind of curious what I'd see here. But I've got the circuit on, but I've got the neutral completely disconnected. So you can go back, and this is another part of that circuit, which this is what we'd want to see when you separate your neutral. This tester, it does read an open neutral. Not all of them do. Some of them will say hot ground reversed, but it will actually be a open neutral. So that's where we are at. And I think now we're at the point where I'm gonna have to start taking some outlets apart and separating the circuit out some more. So I went ahead and decided to open up the outlet over here on this wall. I was seeing at times open hot to completely off. So I figured, well, this could be where we're having some issues. Which, you know, this is 12 gauge wire and they backstabbed this outlet. But I'm seeing some continuity still on our ground and neutral. I think you can probably hear that. And I'm seeing continuity there. And then I'm also reading that here too as well. Pretty confident the circuit's traveling back that way towards the panel. The panel's out in the garage. I don't know if you can't really see it from here. Pretty sure that's our home run. When I pulled the neutral off the panel, this one was showing a open hot. So we're over here. I've got continuity ground and neutral. on one set of wires there. I've got it on one set of wires over here. So I'm going to go into this middle guy here, open it up, separate it, and see what we got. So this was the outlet that I first pulled out, and I was still getting, continuity ground to neutral. So I went over to this guy, and then when I pulled the cover plate off, it looked like the ground was touching the neutral screw. I pulled it out. It's still showing continuity, ground to neutral. Got the circuit separated. And I was seeing continuity on one set of wires over here and continuity on one set of wires over here. No other outlets in between on this side of the wall, so over here, and we got this outlet pulled out. When I pulled the cover off, it looked all right. I pulled the outlet out, and I wasn't getting any continuity on our ground to neutral. So I went ahead and I put a flashlight in here, checked all these guys. I didn't see any nicks in the wire, so it must have been this 12 bear must have been up against one of these guys, causing that kind of bootleg ground. So found our problem. I'm going to make some corrections with these, like this really just needs to get redeviced, but you can see they got number 12 going into the backs of these outlets. If you do backstab, not recommended. The largest wire gauge is 14, and they've used 12. And this was pretty sure this was an original install. But I'm going to go ahead and stop this here because we found our ground to neutral continuity problem, and we'll get back to that open neutral video.